We're live. Yay. All right, today we're making brownies. Alkaline brownies, vegan brownies. Yes, we're making alkaline vegan brownies. And I'm so excited. If you can't tell, this is how excited I am. So I've got the recipe. We're going to start here just by... Got some parchment paper, just push the corners in, and then I can see where the corners came in. Just gonna cut it. All right, there we go. So first I just wanted to cut the parchment paper so that it can fit in here easily. Awesome. Okay, that was easy. So this is just the very basic prep. So I'm gonna make these brownies with candied, well, not candied, but roasted walnuts. And I used to hate walnuts in brownies, but and I'm just going to put a little bit of avocado oil, maybe a teaspoon. All right, I'm just gonna roast these with... Did I drop one already? I'm gonna roast these with sea salt. We want like half of a teaspoon. I'll show you. That's about half a teaspoon. So I'm not going to put any salt in the brownies other than this. Ooh, I'm excited. I'm dancing. You can't even see because I'm doing the brownie dance. I'm so excited to have brownies. I think it's been years. Okay, this should take maybe 5 minutes or so. So I'll start to get the rest of this stuff ready. First, I'm going to cut some of this extra off. Okay, that looks better. Hot, salty nuts. All right, so I've got the mixer is, which I have a giant tub of. Have you ever seen a gallon of date syrup? It's crazy. It's like $75, but it's worth it. Uh-oh. Ow! Okay, these should be done. All right. So these are pretty well done. What do you think? Do you hate walnuts or do you like walnuts? You can also caramelize these with sugar on them. I'm not going to do that this time, but I'm tempted to. All you would do is sprinkle some date sugar over top of them, and they will become candied. So that's still pretty hot, but I'll leave it there. Now let's make the rest of the brownie, which is what we're here to do. I'm going to start with a cup of oil. A cup of oil? Are you kidding me? Nope, I'm not kidding. We'll see how it goes. Since we're not using any butter, we're using avocado oil. Okay, I have some grapeseed oil too. Now, so I've got some chickpea flour. I'm going to put 4 tablespoons, and these aren't exact, these are a little bit heaping. Three. 4. Ow! Just giving these one more quick stir, because that's still hot just sitting there. Okay. Now we're going to put our sugar in here. I'm using date sugar, 3/4 of a cup. Okay, that was 3/4 of a cup date sugar. Now I'm going to add the date syrup. 3/4 of a cup. Oh, wow. think starting to as much as I am. All right, get all of that date syrup out of there. Chunky. Wow, it's making caramel. Let's add the vanilla. We're going to add 2 teaspoons, which is, what do you think? Is it good yet? Alright, thank you for bearing with me. No more loud mixing. The rest I will mix by hand, so we won't have to deal with that obnoxious noise. But that's very nice to help save my arm strength. Alright, we have a really thick caramel forming so far. All that's left pretty much is the powder, which the dry ingredients. So we'll get this off of the whisk, and then I will add the dry ingredients. And we're going to sift them in. And then they'll be ready to go in the oven pretty soon. I'm going to preheat the oven actually. Yeah, almost forgot. Preheating the oven now. Excellent. My oven preheats very quickly, thankfully. I've had ovens in the past that took forever. This one is no problem. All right. All of this precious gold in here. The date syrup is a little expensive, so I want to get all of this. It's not really about the money, it's about not wasting food, but shouldn't waste either. Alright, that looks pretty good. Good enough for live. If I was not in front of an audience, it might take longer. Wow, this is almost thick enough to be done. Makes me think that I barely need any. Look at that, look at how thick that is. Wow. So I'm not putting any chocolate in here. Not putting any cocoa or chocolate, but we're still gonna attempt that flavor. And here is how I'm gonna do that. Here is our sifter. We're gonna add some spelt flour first. Okay, 2/3 of a cup. Where is it? All right, 2/3 of a cup. Not very much, but it doesn't even look like we barely need that. All right. Okay, now I'm gonna put the special ingredient, secret ingredient. Oh, I was gonna use this, but there's junk in the bottom. Oh, it's gonna get all stuck all over it. So this is mushroom powder. Can you see that? This is mushroom. This is pretty expensive, but, well, I'm gonna just use about 1/4 of a cup. I don't want to use too much of it in case, because it has cordyceps mushrooms in it, which tastes a little bit funky. But there's also actually, I wonder if 1/8 of a cup would be enough. Okay. There's that. And now wow, see what I mean? That preheated already. All right. Sifting complete. Sifting complete. That's pretty much it. I was gonna put one more ingredient, but I'll try it next time. Now we just want to combine this. A little too thick than what I want. I might put more oil. I'm going to put some coconut cream in here. Well, it's pretty much just coconut water. 1/4 of a cup. Let's see if that is enough. I could add 1/4 of a cup more oil, but all right, this looks good. All right, that's about perfect. I don't want to over mix it, but it looks pretty chocolatey, doesn't it? All right, going in. Oh, I forgot the, all right, there we go. Fold these in really quick without overdoing. Oh man, I was very intent. Doing that. Didn't even breathe. All right, now just make sure these are, oops, sorry about that. That's what I always edit out of my other videos. All right. See. All right, I think we're ready to go in the oven. Let's do this. And then I'm gonna cook them for, well, we'll see how long. First I'm gonna try them for 20 minutes, but I'm gonna put them in now. Woo! All right, they're in there. Now, hello. Oh, there's a shot of up my nose. All right, woo, whew. They're in the oven. Oh, I forgot to start the timer. Let's see, 20 minutes. And then, oh, I'm halfway relieved that that first part is over with. There was one secret ingredient that I was gonna try to put in, and forgive my hair, by the way. It's frazzling all over the place. I didn't check before I started the camera on my face. But there's one secret ingredient I didn't put in, but I'm hoping that it's good without it. And I'm already planning to make a second brownie recipe with caramel. Like, you know those brownies that have like the zebra caramel on the top that has kind of a decoration? I remember making those when I was a child and how amazing they are. I definitely remember eating them, and I used to bake with my mom all the time. Although we were pretty healthy, once in a while we did have toxic stuff like that. I don't eat it now, but I'm definitely going to make a healthy version so that we can enjoy it guilt-free and actually feel good after and not feel like a diseased blob, like, you know, when you eat dairy and wheat and all that. So we've got 20 more minutes. I don't know if is the chat enabled? If you guys have any questions while we wait for these to cook, I will hang out and answer questions. There's 18 minutes left on the brownies, so we could turn it into a fireside chat while they cook if you want. That's what I'll do. I'll head over there, and if you want to chat, you can ask me questions. I don't know if the welcome to the fireside chat. I don't know if the chat is working right now because nobody commented anything. So I usually tune in on my iPad and on my phone while I'm going live so that I can check the comments on the iPad, but I didn't do that this time. Bear with me while I put this on a tripod. All right, so I'm waiting for the brownies. If you have any questions, feel free to comment. And I'm gonna grab my iPad really quick so that I can see the comments coming in if there are any. I'll be right back. Check out the fire. Well, all right, grabbed my iPad. That was easy. All right, you guys are still here. It's pretty hot over here. Who would have thought? I prefer it this way though. All right, so let me check out on the computer and see if anyone's commenting anything, because it doesn't always come through on my phone when I'm live. But got my trusty iPad. Okay, I see people were commenting. Awesome. So Diego said love from Atlanta. Nice to see. Oh no. I'm getting a feedback loop. Love from Atlanta. Nice to see you again. Delicious. Oh, you were watching me roast the nuts. The hot, salty nuts. What's that flour? Yes, it was spelt. I also did put a little bit of chickpea flour in there if you mixed it. And Z83, welcome back. I don't know your real name. You sound like a droid with a name like Z83. Oh, you were expecting sea moss or cocoa cream? Yeah. Thank you guys for commenting. I appreciate it. If you have any questions, right now, if you're just tuning in, I'm waiting for the brownies to bake and then I'm going to try them. Well, we're at least going to see how they look when they come out of the oven. I'm imagining it's going to be fantastic, but can't be too sure. Oh, you don't have to change your name on my account. I just thought it sounded like a Star Wars droid. Maybe it's something else. I didn't mean to make fun of it if I did accidentally. It's good to see you guys on live. It's the middle of the week. I thought I would do a live cooking instead of making you wait for me to edit everything. And I probably will edit this also. I'm going to make a shorter version. I might comment if you want me to make it again, and I'll probably just edit it down to a couple minutes long so that you don't have to wait while it cooks like we're doing right now. So I'll edit this part out of the final recipe. Alkaline souffle. Oh man, I thought about this because I was watching, some YouTube clickbaited me with some master chef making a souffle, a Michelin star chef. And I watch that kind of stuff, honestly. I mean, that's how I learn. And I study the non-vegan recipes. So I have seen souffle recipes actually, but I don't know how that would work as a chemical reaction. I know the way that the souffle works, isn't it? I wasn't trained in the French culinary style, so I'm going to do another brownie recipe too already. I'm not satisfied. I'm happy with this one already, but I'm not satisfied with one. I want to have a caramel one, with you can see the pools of caramel on the top, and then you just quickly make a design in it. That's what I'm going to make. I know how to make caramel, and I'm going to take the caramel that I made, the flan, the caramel pudding, and I'm going to take it up a notch and change it a little bit so it's more gooey. That caramel was more hard, and once it cools down it gets pretty hard, and I think if I put that in the brownie the caramel would be too hard, so I'm going to make more of a milky caramel. Oh, I can't wait for that. I might even do it tomorrow. I don't promise anything, but I'll probably be eating these brownies for another day and then make them maybe this weekend. And the caramel ones, I won't put walnuts in, I don't think, because then I'll have the walnut recipe and the caramel marble recipe. You need more than one type of brownie, don't you? I do. I know who said they were a brownie nut? Z83. Yeah, so I don't know how a souffle would work, because they heat the egg, they whip the egg, and then they put it in a special container, and then they heat it really fast and hot so that it almost explodes out the top, and then it creates a foam. But the ways that some people create foam with these ingredients, some people use the aquafaba. I don't use that personally. That's the liquid of soaked chickpeas, or the liquid of cooked chickpeas, and you can whip it and make a meringue out of it, but that's gross to me. I don't think that's the stuff that you boil out of the chickpeas that becomes foam. I always scoop that off and dump it in the sink in the garbage. You don't want that foam from the chickpeas, so off the top of my head, that would be the way to do a souffle, but I wouldn't do that, not personally. If I come up with something, I'll definitely try it. And supposedly a souffle is like the mark of what makes a good chef. But what if you don't eat eggs? Then what? Oh, egg tart? Oh yeah. Your mom makes the marble caramel? Oh, oh yeah. That sounds so good. Oh, a souffle like an egg. Well, an egg tart is different than a souffle, from what I know. I've only had egg tarts in Asia, so who knows what it really was. But from what I've had that was called an egg tart was like, like a tart, like what I would call a tart, like a little pie. They have, and then there's like a custard cooked in the. Is that like the egg tart you're thinking? Or am I thinking something else? I could do that. I think I could do that. Make egg tart. That's good with coffee or tea. That seems like a lot of work for a little reward. But if I make a lot of them, I don't think I have a little tart container. I do have some small pastry containers. We'll see what we can do. I'll keep that in mind. And also, if you were on the last live, we were talking about a bunch of different Mexican food, and I can't figure out if the live comments will come back on the replay, because I was going to write down a lot of your ideas, and then I couldn't see the live comments again. So I'll have to figure out how to spell some of those. There was a drink, I forgot what it was called. I remember we talked about birria tacos. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that well, but I do remember those. So those are hard to forget. Oh, egg custard. I could probably do an egg custard. It would be similar to the flan, but with no caramel, and I would probably add some chickpea flour to thicken it up a little bit and make it look that yellowy egg color. But that's just off the top of my head. I'm not sure if that's what I'll actually do. I'll try it out though. I need the egg tart little container, the little dish though, to bake the little pie crust, the tart crust. That was the hard part about the pumpkin pie, was the crust. I really was worried it was going to turn out poorly, but it turned out, I was happy with it, really happy. I could do that in smaller amounts. That would be easier actually. It wouldn't be so hard to roll it out. For a little tart, you would only need, a little bit of crust. So you've got me interested. Birria tacos with consomme. Yeah, I'll have to do a lot of research before I do that. That sounds great. I would probably make the consomme some kind of mushroom stock or something. I don't think I've had that in real life as a non-vegan. Most of this stuff I've had back in the day before I went vegan, or I was a vegetarian for like 10 years, but even before that I had lived in other countries already. So luckily, well, in some ways, luckily I got to taste all these different foods before I got on such a strict diet. So now I have developed all those different tastes, but now I would not eat a non-alkaline one just to do the research. I would not do that to my body. And at this point, I'm too strict about that. So I'll have to go just on the look, how the birria tacos look. And I think I can guess how they taste, but we'll see how, you'll have to try them out and be the judge. Ooh, aguachiles with extra avocado. Okay. Oh man, that's the shrimp dish we talked about. Oh, I'll take a screenshot because it might. I don't know what happens to these live chat comments once the replay gets processed. Because after I make these live videos, YouTube processes it and then puts it up on my page, and people can watch it again, not live, obviously. But what happened to the live comments? I'm trying to figure that out. I think I've watched other people's videos, the live, and then watch it later, and I can see the replay of the live comments. I don't know if I did that on mine yet, so we'll see. This is my 4th or 5th live, and I'm getting better little by little. The drink you're talking about is the champurrado, and I'm sure I pronounced that terribly, like a white boy. But hey, that's what I am, so be it. I'm happy with that. I'm not gonna... Ooh, arroz con leche. I've had that before. That is a great one. I've thought about doing this, actually. And the only kind of rice would be wild rice or quinoa. Think that might work. I think if we like overcook quinoa until it's totally soggy, ooh, I think that would work. And that one's got, does that one usually have a little pinch of cinnamon? I'll have to leave that out. Would vanilla be good on that? The arroz con leche? And I'm gonna learn Spanish at some point. So I'm a stickler for pronunciation, actually. I do speak other languages. I speak Japanese, but that doesn't really help me ever. It's not a very common language. But I spent years and years studying it. Yes, 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 yes! We're doing it. I'll do it with quinoa and then some hemp milk or coconut milk would probably be better. But it has to be one that doesn't taste too coconutty. And then that's probably it. Maybe what, a tiny pinch of salt and some agave? Would that do it? Do you usually use honey or... Oh, you'll teach me speaky Spanish? Please do. Please do. I learned it as a child, but yeah, right. I know how to acquire languages better than studying them. I'd rather just soak it in than to study it in a book. But the best way to learn language is by listening to music or watching movies. So if there's some kind of... I'm really picky about music and movies, and I almost won't watch movies anymore. I'm so strict about what I will watch because it's going into my subconscious mind whether I like it or not, and I only want good stuff going in. I don't want to see violence and stuff like that, honestly. It's not that I want to pretend that it doesn't exist. I know it exists already, and I'm a martial artist, but that's not good for me to watch violent movies or shows. So I have to find something in Spanish that's acceptable, maybe for children. Maybe something that's not too stupid, but for a lower level, like a cartoon or something. I don't know. Ooh, what would probably work is if I got something that I actually like and then got it dubbed in Spanish, that I already know all the dialogue. That would be easy. Then I could pick up the phrases. What about white sugar, sort of like horchata? How about pan dulce? Mexican sweet bread? Ooh, I've never had it, but I'm curious. Ooh, that sounds great. Oh, do you hear that? That's brownie! That's brownie! Run! All right, I'm gonna flip this over and if I can figure this out. Now, well, it's not a very good shot, but we'll see. All right, let's see. Let's see if these are looking done or what. I don't know. It's so dark. My oven light is broken. And this is causing me a problem right now because I can't see the dark brownie if it's done or not. I'm going to pull it out and smack it on the counter so it doesn't get too fluffy, which I doubt it would anyway. Okay, let's try this again. I am going to take it out, even though I think it's not done yet. I'm going to take it out anyway and check it in the light. Let's see. No, I don't think it's done yet. It's looking like it's finishing around the edge, but this middle looks wet. You see that? Oh yeah, you can see that. I think I'm gonna do at least 5 more minutes. Ooh. Oh yeah, I just poked it. It's way too soft. And I'm gonna slam it down here so that it's puffing up, actually. I don't want it to be too puffy, but oh wow, you missed out on that. Okay, so I'm gonna just put this towel on the counter so that I don't break this or anything. And I'm just gonna calm it on down. All right, I'm gonna put it back in. This looks like it needs at least 5 more minutes, and I would say 10, honestly. Yeah, I'll put it in for 10 more minutes. And whew. Well, for those of you staying tuned in, thank you. I know it's disappointing when it's not cooked yet, but in my experience, it's probably my oven, but Spelt takes longer to cook than I'm used to. So it could be my oven temp is lower than normal, or that spelt takes longer to cook than wheat. But it seems like when I'm following wheat recipes, I know that they consider spelt wheat, but I don't. I'm not the FDA. I consider spelt. So I follow sometimes some other recipes that are using wheat, and I change them around, obviously. And then it seems to take much longer. And so it's either my oven or the spelt. Something about the grain. But we'll get there. It did seem I just touched the edge of the brownie, and it was very fluffy. So there's no baking powder or baking soda or eggs, and it still felt super fluffy. So everyone that says it can't be done, maybe we can make souffle. I just don't know what it would be. Souffled. Oh, I forgot to check the live. It's live. Alkaline baking takes hours. Yeah, $3.50 for 20 minutes was not enough. And never is. Doug, I was so happy to find spelt flour at Whole Foods today. Zen Wednesday. Awesome. Oh, you're interested in Zen. That's right. Zen Buddhism. Do you know about the beginner's mind? In Zen, it's important to have the beginner's mind. Zazen. It's called something. The beginner's mind. I forgot. In Japanese. But I love beginner's mind. It's what I would say is kind of like being like a child, because you can learn very easily, you can soak in more information, you can ask a lot of questions, or even if you don't talk, you can perceive more. And if you just get sucked into the monotony of life, some people call it the rat race, then you can lose this beginner's mind. And life becomes, you don't see the little things, the sights, the smells, the novelties that are important. And as a creative person, I have to continuously get up, refresh, take a walk. I like learning new things, and I have to keep changing it up, even changing my environment, because it keeps the creativity going. And thankfully, I don't have a normal job, just over broke. That's what it stands for, because then it gives me a lot of time and energy to focus on researching all the crazy stuff that crazy awesome stuff that I tell you on this channel. And I was just on a coaching call earlier with a potential client, and I was he asked me some of my background, and I was telling him all the different things, some of the different things that I've done. It was coming up later in the conversation, and he was shocked that I have so much experience. And I don't feel like I'm doing anything difficult, and I don't feel like I'm overachieving or anything like that, but I do something definitely, and it's different than what most people do. And I would equate it to the beginner's mind, because I'm not afraid to ask questions. I'm not afraid to not know something, and that's what makes me smarter. That's what I tried to teach people, my classmates and stuff. I tried to teach them this growing up. I even tried to teach people in university how to do well in finals week, because during finals week back then, I would not study at all in finals week. I would just totally relax and not do anything. And I would laugh at the people staying up all night, studying and stuff. And I just thought, wow, they don't get it. They just don't get how it works. You can't cram all that into and expect a result. So anyway, the beginner's mind is just keep it being open, having open ears, having open eyes, and having an open mind. If someone says something you don't know or don't agree with, don't immediately reject it. Think about it. Take a pause. Sometimes we react really strongly if someone says something, we get offended, or we say, oh, I hate that, or oh, that's stupid, or just in our mind. But if we just take a moment and go, is that stupid? Is that BS? Maybe not. Maybe it is. Usually it is, but keeping that beginner's mind and not necessarily judging, that's what it's about. So there's your Zen lesson. There's your lesson on Zen. I know that I told you I would teach you some more if I... it's not really about teaching, it's just about being. Ooh, that was Zen. Just being. Okay, what else? We've got some other comments here while we wait for the brownies. Should I check them after 5 minutes? They didn't look very done. I think 10 minutes is safe. Safe bet. I don't want to keep opening the oven. If you didn't know that, there's another tip. When you're baking, don't open the oven. It's only because my oven light broke. It just fell out. I've been baking a lot, I guess, for this channel, and the light bulb melted out so that the part of it is still up in there. Otherwise, I would have fixed it already. But since I'm always using it, I just kept using it without the light and didn't even think of it until now. That now I want to see the brownies in the oven. So, and I've seen some videos that they do a time lapse in the oven somehow. Either they have a very clear front on their oven, or they put a super duper camera inside. I doubt that though. It'd be pretty cool if I had a glass oven that I could film time lapse while it's baking. That would be pretty cool. Okay, I got a good question come in. Alkaline chocolate pancakes with blueberry syrup. I do make an alkaline hot chocolate, which is kind of where I got the idea for these brownies. So I can tell you about that. And what else did you say? Alkaline chocolate pancakes with blueberry syrup. I can definitely, I have blueberry syrup right now because we made blueberry jam and we've got 2 things of it. So I've been putting that on French toast or just regular spelt toast. Do you use Ceylon cinnamon? No, I don't. You saw another channel using it? Yeah. Not me. You won't find me touching that with a 10-foot pole. You know why? Because I used to eat that when I was unhealthy, when I was sick. Did it make me better? No. I used to, there's some health fad, which oven's going off. Rain check on what I was just saying. So there's some health fad about cinnamon and honey, and I call BS on it, personally. I used to do that, and it did not give me good results, personally. Okay. All right, so hopefully this is it. Get a good shot here. All right, let's do it. please be done. Ooh, it looks like it got too puffy. Whoa! Epic. These puffed up more than I wanted them to, but let me see here. Okay, let me poke something down in here and see if this is done. Before I turn off the oven, I want to make sure. Okay, there's a good shot. Gotta remember to take good pictures of that, but I don't think I can while I'm live. All right, let me stab something into there. Just got a bamboo skewer. Well, didn't come out, but did not feel very done. Very fudgy right now. I don't know. I don't think they're done yet. I mean, it's okay for brownies to come out a little bit stuck on the thing that you stick in. It's okay with brownies because they should be pretty fudgy. These feel super, super fudgy though, and I think it's to the point of that it's raw. So, and I mean the edges don't even look burnt whatsoever. They don't even look, the very edge doesn't even look done. So, putting them back in. They're puffing up too much though. So I'm going to slam it on the counter again. Okay, it should be good. All right, back in they go. Oh man. Oh, how much? All right. Now you're seeing behind the scenes of how this happens. I think 10 more minutes. I mean, geez, that's gonna be 40 minutes total. So the non-vegan recipes I was following were not gonna cut it. So back to the Fireside chat. Might as well keep going now that I kind of have this getting better at this live streaming through the house. What do you think? It's looking pretty sad with these empty stockings. But as alkaline minimalist, what do I even get? Food? Let me check the comments and see. All right. So, cinnamon. We were talking about cinnamon. And then the timer went off. Yeah, too soft. Definitely way too soft still. So the Ceylon cinnamon, is that what we were talking about? So I've researched this cinnamon deal several times because first I heard that that's not real cinnamon. That there's another cinnamon that's the real cinnamon. And I looked into it, there's 3 types of cinnamon. There's the fake garbage that they sell in the stores. There's the real cinnamon from Sri Lanka, and there's another one from Indonesia. So, or I can't remember I think that's what the third one was. The last time I researched it was kind of recently. And I was mistaking, there's an herb called quassia with a Q. And there's cassia is cinnamon. But then if you look into it, no, cassia is not cinnamon. Ceylon is cinnamon. And I know the third one is Saigon cinnamon from Vietnam. Those are the three types. So confusing, but no, I don't eat that anymore. I was looking it up for the pumpkin pie and whatever I made for Thanksgiving, but there are some similar flavors. I think I ended up just using ginger, a little bit of clove, a little bit of cayenne, but there are some other things too that are possible to experiment. Let's see if you have any other questions while I timeline looking cinnamon sheet. Vibrant setup. Thank you. Yeah, I've been trying to figure out where to shoot these videos, and this is the winner. The fire is just much better than if I put some picture on the wall or something. I like the fire better. In the summer, then I'll do the videos outside, but I have a ton of videos from last summer that I didn't get a chance to publish. I was filming some vlog style videos, which were just like, I went camping, I, went on an adventure at my dad's farm, I just vlogged around town. Let me know if you want to see that kind of stuff. From my research about YouTube, I was, it seems like it was recommended not to do any vlogs because no one's going to care what I'm doing because no one knows who I am yet. That's what they say. So later on when I have like maybe, 10,000, 100,000 subscribers, then maybe I can vlog and people would actually watch. But I had some cool footage. I just wasn't sure if anyone would watch it, so I'm getting a low power mode. Is my phone gonna make it till the next brownie check, or do I need to plug it in? I wasn't expecting this video to go this long, and I don't even know if I ate today, so I'm just making brownies and extremely hungry because I'm not fasting on purpose. It's just I intermittent fast and then I got really busy, and hey, that's just what happens. Sometimes that's good because it's natural. In the wild, you don't always have a stockpile of food, and sometimes maybe you have to skip a meal, but it's natural. So I'm extremely appetized waiting for the brownie to be done, and I'm already thinking about the next batch of brownies that I'm going to make with the caramel. So stay tuned for that. There's a video coming soon. I have almost done with the vegan sausage gravy. I can't find some of the footage. This is crazy. I have like 16 terabytes, I think I was saying in another live, of footage. So from editing videos over the years. And it's hard to keep track sometimes. And it looks like I'm missing the very beginning of the sausage, alkaline sausage. video. So as soon as I find that, then I'll post it. That's what the delay has been on that one. I know I said that like a week ago I would have the sausage gravy video out. But we already do have the mashed potatoes, which aren't potatoes, and we already have the biscuit video. So that is a pretty heavy meal. It's definitely the heaviest thing I've eaten in a long time. And I'm using less and less coconut cream because I was eating it for those certain recipes a lot, but I'm using it less because it's not local for one thing around here, and I think that some, depending on what it is, I do get some coconut smoothies that are made from young coconut, but if the coconut cream is made from the old coconuts, then it's not really recommended, and I guess it's kind of like an indulgence, but that's definitely not for detoxing or fasting. That's only for if you're I guess you would call it a cheat day, but I don't really do that. I don't really believe in cheat days because doesn't make sense. That's like being sober all year and then binging at once. That's dangerous if you understand how the health works. So, all right, I can smell them from here. Oh yeah, I bet they're almost done now. I can start to smell them all around the house. Should be any minute now. Oh my God, it makes me even more excited because I can see how long I've been live. It's been 1 hour and 20 minutes. I was expecting these to be a quick, slap it all together, pop them in. I knew that roasting the nuts at the beginning was going to take a little extra time, but then I thought that was really going to be the only thing. And that's the reason I didn't make the caramel for these ones, is because I didn't want it dragging on and on for an hour. But look what happened. It dragged on and on for 1 hour and 20 minutes. Now let me check the comments and see what's... Okay. Oh, someone said to... stay diligent. Absolutely. Fully electric. Check out the alkaline pizza. Oh man, I make a killer alkaline pizza. I haven't made it recently because I made it so many times. Oh, there's the beep. Yeah. All right, let's do this. Come on, be done. All right, fingers crossed that they're done. Oh, yeah. Oh, well, let's see. Not sure yet. Let's get in there and find out if these are done. Where did I put my little... All right, let's see. Wow, that's soft. It's so ridiculously soft. How long have these been in? It's like they're not even cooking. These are going to be so moist at the end. I don't think they're done yet. The edges aren't even like... The edges are like dough after 40 minutes. The only thing I can feel in there is the walnuts are hard. Yeah, I'm putting my finger on it, sorry, but I'm eating it. Well, it pains me to do this, but I'm gonna put it back in. Unbelievable. So, put it back in for 10 more minutes? Is it gonna be burnt on the bottom or what? Alright, this is the last time. There's no way I'm doing it for an hour. Okay, so 10 more minutes. Well, thank you for sticking around. Do a little bit more Q&A while we wait 10 more minutes. Yeah, I'm getting good at positioning this. This is the worst monopod in the world that I'm using. If you saw behind the scenes of how I film these, it would be hilarious. But it gets the job done, and I'm thankful for it. We'll upgrade in the future. So let me see if we got any more. Okay. Share your hot chocolate recipe. Ooh, okay. The hot chocolate recipe is that mushroom powder that I have, which that's my own proprietary blend, actually. But I'll tell you basically what it is. It's basically chaga mushroom, reishi, cordyceps. And cordyceps tastes a little weird, has a funky flavor. So I'd be curious trying it with just the chaga mushroom, which is very dark brown. It looks like cocoa powder and it's bitter, so it's worth a shot. But I have it already all mixed because those are some supplements that I make. So I'm basically using the medicinal mushrooms in these brownies. Isn't that funny? They're medical brownies, but not in the way that that sounds like it would mean. Perrier. Okay, so the hot chocolate is hot. Let's see, how do I do that? I mix with some coconut milk, the thicker coconut milk. I mix it with that mushroom powder. Like, I think I usually use a small teaspoon, like maybe half a teaspoon or a little more. And a half a teaspoon to a full teaspoon. And we're just talking about in like a coffee cup. We're talking about like a 6 to 8 ounce cup, a small cup of it. So what I do is mix the mushroom powder in with the coconut milk, and then heat that up, and then add boiling water and agave. So maybe a pinch of salt to bring out the flavor. So it's I'm glad somebody I'm glad somebody commented about the medicinal brownies. That's hilarious. Okay, what getting back to these comments. Oh man, though, I do want to say my alkaline pizza is awesome. So it's been a while since I made one. I think I made it too many times, and then I stopped making it for a long time. But I have the spelt dough that I usually use. I'll have to do a recipe on that. And oh, the sauce. Oh man. I used to make pizza sauce from cherry tomatoes, which is pretty expensive. And actually, let me grab the charger because it looks like this is going to die any second. All right, I'm back. Okay. I'm going to plug this in, but then I'm going to have to unplug it when I go run and take the brownies out. I just don't want it to die mid-sentence. Okay, so I just ran away like that. Let's get back to what we were talking about. Oh, the pizza. Oh yeah, I have a few tricks on the pizza crust that are amazing. And the sauce I made out of cherry tomato, which was a little expensive, but oh man, cherry tomatoes are so much superior to plum or any other. But plum I end up using plum sometimes. It just, the sauce, sauce is so good. And then what are your favorite pizza toppings? I usually put olives, onions, tomatoes, sometimes bell pepper, mushrooms. Onions are so good though on the pizza, baked on top. Purple onion. Let's see. Thoughts on Perrier water and sparkling water? I drink sparkling water sometimes. Sparkling spring water I prefer, which Perrier used to be. I know it depends on, I think sometimes they get it from a different source, depending on where you're getting it. So if it's sourced at the Perrier spring and it's spring water still, then yeah, but I think Perrier has multiple sources now and they sneak it in there. But yeah, I used Perrier for one of my recipes, one of my bread recipes, I think. And I drink sparkling water once in a while. I make my own root beer with sarsaparilla. And I have it as like a treat, once in a while. I don't drink it nonstop because I'm sure it's probably not good because it has carbon dioxide in it. That's what the bubbles are. But we want more oxygen, not carbon dioxide. So I think, it's fine. I have it every once in a while and I'm pretty sensitive to stuff and I haven't noticed any negative results. But I think that it's just like a treat. It's not something you should have every time you drink something, though. But yeah, I think it's probably okay. Compared to a lot of the other stuff people are consuming, sparkling spring water wouldn't be so bad. Would you eat meat if the economy totally collapses and stores are closed? No. That is interesting question because that shows me an underlying misunderstanding that somehow meat is going to help me ever. No, it isn't. It's going to wreck my digestion and clog my body even if the economy is collapsed or not. So in hard times, is even more important to, I've got my thing flipped around there. In the hard times, it's even more important to be healthy, in my opinion. When things get rough, like back when I was sick, I could barely function compared to my functioning right now. Now, if something happened, I can function fine. I can react without freaking out because, like, this whole year has been one emergency after another. And what about me? I'm fine. That's what I'm trying to tell everyone. And health doesn't work the way they say it works. And meat isn't good for the reasons they say it's good. And they say it has iron in it. Well, can you absorb any of that iron? They say it has protein. Well, can you get any of that protein from the meat? No. You can't. It's like eating a big wad of cardboard. It's just going to lodge itself in your gut and have a hard time getting out. In addition to that, the type of meats people eat are hybrid and mutants. They're not even real animals. So, yeah, I mean, my family hunts. I've been hunting before as a child, so I know the deal. But most people are not eating wild game. They're eating factory artificial mucus disease producer. So, duty calls. All right, this must be the final countdown. Okay. Let's do this. Please be done. I don't know. Let's check it out. Okay, it's still really soft, but at least that felt like something. Like there's some kind of substance behind it and not just oil. I mean, the edges are now at least done enough that they don't immediately poke through. It still looks not done to me, but I'm going to consider pulling it out because this might be done enough. I could do 10 minutes more and make it a full hour. An hour of cooking. But, okay. I'm just kind of seeing how firm it is. Dang. I mean, the edges are not even hard at all. Yeah, I'm basically just talking to myself right now. I mean, it is super fluffy. Oh. It is super fluffy. And I don't want it to be like cake. But I think I'm going to put it in for 10 more minutes. I want the hard edges. I want the corner to be nice and crispy. And, just slightly. And I don't think we're there yet. I think 5 more minutes would do it. But Wow, this is very... I've never filmed live like this cooking where I have to keep putting it back in the oven. I should consider this and do the only go live if it's cooking on the stove top and not in the actual stove itself. So I'm gonna do 10 minutes. I mean, it's nowhere near burning, that's for sure. Okay. All right. Get back to my iPad and see what kind of questions we have or comments we have rolling in. I don't even think I'm going to be able to wait for these to cool. I'm just going to shovel them while they're molten hot lava. Okay, so you said Radon said if I put butter in those, they'd be done already. Yeah, I'm coming to that conclusion. Why would they be done with butter and not avocado oil? What's the chemical reaction? Why is it different? I'm curious about how this works, because I've been wondering about that. Okay, so carbonated beverages aren't really good long term because the carbon dioxide break down in a carbonic acid. Okay, that's a good point. So I knew that the carbon dioxide would be no good, too much of it, but yeah, carbonic acid is also what a lot of the food like rice and stuff is just killing people, unfortunately. Thank you for that comment. Radon, yeah. Deep dish is your favorite? Oh man, deep dish. Yes. Deep dish pizza. That's been on my list of things to create. I haven't done one yet, but I definitely have an idea for some to load it up with veggies. I even have sausage, vegan alkaline sausage, of course, that basically the same stuff I made for the sausage gravy, which I make those into veggie burgers sometimes. They're like a sausage sandwich. But I don't even think I have the veggie burger recipe posted on here. I had a blog before I really started doing this in my YouTube channel. I had a blog for because I had created a line of supplements, herbal supplements. So I took that down, unfortunately, and there's the pizza recipe and the pizza sauce and all that is up on that blog. But yeah, deep dish is what I really want. Could I make it? I would probably make it in like the cast iron. Oh, yes. I'm gonna make it like the pie and then put do you like the deep dish with like a second crust on top, or do you just like the super deep? And I know it's usually just like a slab of cheese, but of course we're not adding that. But do you like it with the stuff that's usually like cheese and sausage or whatever in the middle, and then there's sometimes another layer of crust and then sauce on top? Is that the one you like? Or do you like the deep dish that's just like a regular pizza except much deeper? And okay, someone said, try aqua carpatica, natural spring water. It's the best spring water I've had and very oxygenated. Got it from Fresh Market. Interesting. I don't think I've seen that one, but I would love some. I would love some right now. Actually, I have no drink for this live. I'm just talking nonstop. Alkaline baking is funny to me. Yeah. Yeah, it is. It is healthier, and when you're detoxing and everything, you should be eating raw mostly. But for, my specialty is trying to recreate the American food or the other types of food I like that are typically disgustingly unhealthy, and then making it almost really healthy. So, yes, cooked food is not necessarily natural, but right off of the vine would be natural. But, you know, I feel amazing though, and it's a quantum leap from where I was personally years ago. And sometimes it's good to go through a phase of only raw, but I don't think I could do raw all the time just for, year after year. I like some things cooked, but what about you? You must, or you wouldn't be here. I'm excited about the mushroom powder baking into the brownies and how much power these are gonna. Oh no, it's way too late now for me to even eat them. It's past my. This is usually when I cut off, when I say the kitchen is closed, and and I stop eating so that I can actually sleep. Because if I eat super powered, super nutrient dense food late, I'm just going to be up all night going, yay! And that's not always good. All right, let's see. We've got some more comments rolling in. I appreciate that. Give me some thumbs up too. I've been live for an hour, an hour and 45 minutes trying to make these brownies. But I appreciate some thumbs ups in. Thank you. I appreciate that. Because otherwise, you know how YouTube is. They withhold my video from the public if nobody likes it. They think nobody likes it. Okay, so do I have a turbo in my chimney? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Alkaline lasagna, yes. Interesting. Oops, sorry about that. I'll have to plug this back in. Alkaline lasagna is possible. I was studying some Italian woman making two different types of lasagna the other day, and thinking about it, we'd have to make our own noodles, which we've made spelt udon. If you know udon, it's like a fat square Japanese noodle for soup, and that was okay, but it wasn't the best. I think I had a noodle making machine that you can roll them. I mean, I've seen one, maybe my mom has it or something. I'll have to check into that. I could only do that with the noodle rolling machine, because I remember making spelt noodles by hand with a rolling pin, and it was not very pleasing result. So I would want it to be way better than that for me to put it online and put my put my seal of approval on it. But it's definitely worth figuring out. There is some spelt pasta out there that I eat. Barilla makes the chickpea pasta. Usually the rotini is the best. So maybe I could make like a casserole instead of maybe it wouldn't be lasagna like layered in flat layers, but maybe I could make it like with a rotini. I'm not sure. That would be easier than making the flat noodles at home. I know it's possible, just have to figure it out. The noodles would just take some experimenting because they were weird, and they dissolved in water too. So I'm not sure exactly how to make the noodles out of spelt. Chickpea burgers, that is something that I can make, definitely can do. And we had a recipe for that on the blog before. So we'll just have to bring that back and make it a video. I think, I swear I've taken video of that so many times because we've made it so many times, but, oh, Saved by the Bell. Here we go. You know the drill by now. Chill by the fire, and then, oh, you're seeing the random stuff in the background. Okay, this has got to be it. There's no way I'm doing it again. Drum roll. Brrr. I still have the tag on this oven mitt. All right, well, like it or not, these are gonna be done. I still think they could probably go longer. Unbelievable. But it's starting to pull away from the outside. Like you can see there's a nice gap. So the edges look a little bit more done than they were. Oh, there's where I poked it. If you listen carefully, you can hear it bubbling away. So I don't even know if how it's gonna poke, but, oh wow. I stabbed a walnut and it's coming out. It's gonna create a crater. Oh, that's not good. Oh man. It's live. I wish it wasn't live so I could do this. All right. I accidentally stabbed the walnut. So it's like coming out like a, okay, there, I got it. Oh yeah, that's done. That's done. Yeah, it's got to be done. Okay, well, here's the edge. You can see the edge right here. Still, the edge is still not as crispy as I wanted, but it's done. It's not just going right in. Seems. So that took an hour. An hour at 350 Fahrenheit. All right, and then yeah, that's it. I'm going to wait till they cool and then cut them. So I'm probably gonna, let me switch this back over. Okay, I'm probably gonna let those cool. Oh, I better turn off the oven. Don't forget to turn off the oven. All right, so I turned off the oven. It's official. They're done. Now I just have to wait until they cool, which is going to take forever. So I'm going to just answer your remaining comments, and then I'll show you the results later when I edit this video into a condensed 5-minute or something video. And now you see that it took from start to finish, and they're not even cooled down yet. It's been an hour and 50 minutes that I've been live. and they're gonna take some time to cool. Then I'm gonna try them out, and I'll film myself tasting them, and I'll put that in the next video of the brownie video. I'll do a short edit of this. And let's see. Alkaline baklava. I've thought of that too. Well, baklava is made with honey, walnuts, I know that I'm not sure how to get that really thin, flaky pastry film, or what's it called that they make baklava out of? It's super thin, and I think it's wheat. I would love to try that out. Baklava is good. Good ideas. Keep the good ideas coming. I want to be able to do a video a day or more, but I'm having challenges, honestly, with there's between filming everything and editing it and posting it, I need a really streamlined system, and I have assistants actually helping me, and it's still a challenge. I need an entire team of like 10 people to produce this content. But yeah, so your ideas of new foods are good, and the more I can have them, if my channel gets monetized and I can actually make income from ads, then I would be able to spend more money and get a bigger rent out a kitchen. That's what I'm planning anyway, is to rent out a professional kitchen for the videos in the future, and get a new camera and all that, which honestly, it won't be that much money comparatively. I mean, it sounds a little daunting, but it won't be that bad, just, compared to something else. I just need to rent the bigger kitchen with all the professional grade, stainless steel countertops and everything, so that I can make a giant pizza dough and have space and, more than one oven and stuff like that. So I've got some good stuff planned for the future. I did have some of my plans get stifled by this stupid situation that's going on that I won't name. But those kind of I had to tweak the plans a little bit, so I'm still have some big things cooking, pun intended. I still have some big plans cooking up, and I want to announce them to you soon. One of them is really exciting, and like I mentioned, I do want to upgrade the cooking part of the channel into industrial kitchen. That's what I foresee anyway. That would make it a lot easier, and also if I can get help filming, because filming is hard enough. Filming something without cooking is difficult, and then trying to film and cook at the same time is sometimes ridiculous. And I want to show you maybe behind the scenes sometimes when I'm let's just say I'm very dramatic sometimes, on and off camera, but behind the scenes would be interesting. But if I had more space and a setup to film, then I could have a good shot of me, and I could have another shot of down to the food. And right now, my kitchen, I can't set the lighting equipment or a tripod, So I'm filming with a monopod, which is just basically one long stick, and that's why it wobbles every time I touch it. Because there's no room for a professional tripod in the kitchen. So, but I mean, hey, over 50 cooking videos got produced in this kitchen so far. So I'm doing it anyway. I'm not complaining as an excuse. I'm just kind of telling you what I'm looking forward to on this channel in the future. Is that I've been wanting to upgrade the camera. This is actually decent quality, but if some people want me to make a cookbook, and I need a better camera for that. And then also, if I get another camera, I can have more than one shot. So I can have one camera just focused right over top of the food, and another one pointing at me, so I can cut back and forth in the edit, which will make it more difficult to edit. But I'm saying down the line when I do have people helping me edit, even though I'm doing a lot of the editing. I do have help with that as well. So I'll be able to. It's definitely not profitable yet. I've been just dumping a lot of money in, and in good faith that it's the right thing to do. It's what info people need, and is benefiting the world. So I would like to have it pay in the future, but I'm gonna do it anyway regardless, just because it's my purpose in life, basically. So it's not really my purpose to make money, but money is a tool, just like this phone or this tripod or the spelt flour. It all costs money, of course. So the more that right now it's just my own personal investment going in. But if I do make profit from this channel, I'm going to put it all back in. And I have some plans in the future that I'm going to announce to give back to the community, to just give to the community. It's not really giving back, but I have some big plans that got messed up because of everything that's going on. But, put them on the back burner, and they'll come later when we're allowed to be free again, if it ever happens. And if we're not allowed to be free anymore, then the video is going to change what it's about, and it's going to turn into how to take back our rights. Hopefully it doesn't get that far, but it's close. It's pushing it. So I hope that everyone is staying well and becoming well. I guess a lot of people aren't even well to begin with, so they need to get well. And this information is meant to help with that, help cut the learning curve, because it used to be easy to be healthy. All you had to do was eat the plants that came out of the ground, certain ones. But then when people started hybridizing everything, and business is advertising you this and advertising you a McNugget and advertising you some corn syrup. Oh man, sorry about that. What's happening? Some corn syrup and artificial colors. That's what the world has turned into, and that's why we have to reclaim our health. I'm just plugging my phone in because it's about to die. There we go. And on that note, reclaim your health, and this is how to do it. Follow the follow the dots. And I have so much information on this channel. I almost have 200 videos, believe it or not. 200 videos in 5 years. And over 100 videos are from this year. I've done, so far this year, I've done 111 videos. And this one is the 112th. So thank you for tuning in and subscribing. I appreciate all your feedback. I appreciate your comments live. I appreciate your comments on my other videos too. Make sure to give it a thumbs up, and I appreciate that. It's free and easy. You don't have to pay me anything. Just thumbs it up and it would help out. And your comments help out a great deal as well. I appreciate those. Not only does it help with the YouTube algorithm, but it's what provides the interesting content for learning. You know, this back and forth conversation, even though it's one-sided, I appreciate any feedback that you give. It helps me to hone my content more towards what you want. So letting me know, like the alkaline lasagna and the alkaline baklava, those are some great ideas. Birria tacos. What was that drink called again? I'm gonna look it up before I forget. It's like a horchata, but it's something else. Champurrado. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I'll check that out too. I'm gonna take a screenshot of that so that just in case. And keep the feedback coming, and I'll keep the videos coming. I'm gonna let those brownies chill and cool before I eat them. And unfortunately, I think I'm gonna have to wait till tomorrow to eat them because it's almost 9 p.m. Well, actually, my absolute cutoff time for eating, and it's not absolute, I'm strict enough as it is that I'm flexible with certain things with myself. I'm under enough stress that I make sure to, the purpose is to have a better life, not to stress out about every little detail. However, I do have a guideline, and I usually cut off the eating at 9. I usually cut it off at 8, and if for some reason I didn't eat or something, like today I just got wrapped up in work. I've been in a whirlwind of work since like 2 or 3. And earlier in the day, I thought I would have plenty of time to do everything. And then I had an extra consultation that was great though. So what ended up happening is that eating got pushed to the side. And since that I'm filming when I cook, and I had planned this out, so I had been planning it all day, and it took me, man, you know how much research goes into each video? Sometimes it's crazy. I watched so many brownie videos. I watched an unreasonable amount of brownie recipes and studied non-vegan brownies because I don't like making it too far from the real thing. So I don't typically study a vegan recipe and recreate it. I study the real recipe, and my ingredients are better anyway, so usually it works out. The quality of the ingredients is almost everything. And the more practice you have at cooking, then your taste will develop. But the quality of the ingredients, I mean, you can't fake it. You can't cook something amazing with, rotten or underripe food. All right, I see a big comment coming in. Frederick, hello, I'm a new sub. Welcome, awesome. Thank you so much for subscribing. I appreciate that. I've been doing flatbread, spelt bread, and they're amazing. But I'm trying to do buns, and it's hard to get them to rise. Any suggestions? Is homemade dough starter on Spelt Alkaline? Okay, so you're talking about like, I know about rye starter, which gets really fluffy. That, it's not recommended to have fermented foods on this, on the guidelines I'm following. So yeah, as far as you can let it sit for a little while, like an hour, and it might, I usually, my food usually rises, and I'm sometimes surprised about how much it how much that it actually rose. But, and if you think about it, baking soda is alkaline, although it's a chemical and I don't use it because it's artificial, but it is alkaline. So a lot of these recipes, they add the alkalinity with a chemical. So we are using higher pH ingredients, so that makes me think it should naturally rise. But basically the rising is some kind of chemical reaction releasing air and producing some little bubbles. So you can try, I'm curious how you made your flatbread, because I made spelt flatbread and they were not amazing at one point. I have made naan that was okay, but I think my flatbread left some to be desired, honestly. Wasn't as good as my other stuff, for sure. So I wonder what's in your flatbread and how you make it, and what you would do differently to make it into buns. I do want to make buns. Like, did you see my recipe for the biscuits? Those were pretty good, and you could eat that like a bun. It was just 3 ingredients, I think, maybe 4. Yeah, I'm pretty sure those were just flour and coconut cream and salt. Those got really fluffy and puffy. And some of my spelt breads, I sometimes use a combination of spelt and rye, and I feel like that fluffs a little bit. You could try the rye starter and just not letting it totally ferment. It might just get a little bit fluffy, and then you can add it in. Sparkling water. Did you try sparkling water? Try using sparkling water and sea moss inside the buns. That might get some fluff going for you. I hope that helps. And the sea salt helps to react. So I'm not sure if you add sea salt to your flatbread or not. So you use sea moss, sparkling water, oil, salt, and aquafaba. Okay, I don't personally like aquafaba, just because I think that's the part of the chickpea that I throw away, because it's got some like gassy, what is it, nitrogen? I'm drawing a blank on what is actually in the aquafaba. I don't personally use that. So you use sparkling water for the flatbread? That's interesting. All right, well, what you could try is agave and some rye. And I think that agave and the sea salt, you could try putting some coconut cream in there, and then it'll like melt and make some pockets, kind of like butter, but you know how they use in pastry dough, they use like frozen butter because it melts and creates those crispy little pockets. you could try that. I'm curious to just try it out and let you know. But I would say make them a little bit more wet than you would usually, because the biscuits I made, they were very wet, and the recipes that aren't alkaline called for most of them. You're supposed to roll them out. There was no way I was going to roll those out. They were just like a blob of cream almost. So those were equal parts spelt and coconut cream. Not sure if that would give it some volume. So you're basically making, that's kind of how I would make pancakes. Yeah, I'm not sure. I do want to make some buns though for sandwiches, and okay, cool. Yeah, experiment. Yeah, keep experimenting, and thanks for the feedback. If I had a recipe already for the buns, I could just point you directly to it. But as of now, I have like 8 different types of bread recipes for bread, and I've got some muffins and some cookies, and let's see, I've got those biscuits. So I don't exactly have a bun recipe, but I would like to make a sandwich bun, because we make a killer veggie burger, and also the sausage that I used in the sausage gravy is amazing as a patty, as like a thin, like a veggie burger size patty, and those are amazing. And I was thinking about making a sandwich with the I keep forgetting the word biscuit. It's like the hardest word for me to remember for some reason. Biscuit. Probably because I've never really eaten them. So the biscuits ripped in half with a sausage patty. That's one idea I've got, like a breakfast sandwich. That would be amazing. But yeah, dinner roll, I would just add some rye to the spelt and some agave. And I think that'll give you a little bit of fluff along with what you're already using. So let me know how that worked. And thank you again for subscribing. Appreciate it. Okay. Oh yeah, so you have to deep dive my videos. You know, I have 5 years of videos. And just because the video wasn't necessarily popular doesn't necessarily mean it wasn't a good video. It's just I didn't understand YouTube. The title, the thumbnail, those are way more important than the content as far as YouTube cares. Now, I was focused just on content, and I just didn't care about the thumbnail, or I thought, you know, I'll fix it later, or didn't know how it worked, didn't really know what would get people to click. So now I understand better, so my videos get more views. But I think some of my older videos were good info, and some of them I'll remake into a better quality. Because, you know, better video quality is important. My older videos were filmed on just a junk phone or something before I got this, before I think I had this phone. And so there was a while, I started my channel in 2015. So, and originally it was about happiness, health, and wealth. It was focusing on making money online and anti-anxiety. Like, that's kind of what I was doing videos on back then. Also, psychology, that's what my background's in, and philosophy, stuff like that, manifesting, and personal development, which I shy away from now. And I think what we're doing here with with the food and everything is going to get way better result than any personal development. And you know the reason why they call it personal development is because you can't measure it. You never know if you succeeded. So they can just keep selling you books and keep selling you seminars indefinitely without, that's what my complaint about personal development is. I was studying personal development for over 10 years. And like I mentioned, my background was in psychology. So I was studying psychology and personal development. And yeah, what I found out is that health is the way. Health is the way. The only important thing. And then when you feel better, you'll be better. And also, a lot of people like to scam and trick people into thinking, ooh, positive thinking. Ooh, positive thinking, the secret and everything. Now, I'm not saying the secret is totally wrong, because there's accuracy to the law of attraction, but a lot of it gets forgotten, and a lot of important parts get left, and people don't understand how this stuff works. So they just think that wishful thinking and positive thinking is going to do something. It's not. It can, but you have to do it scientifically. There's a scientific way to pray. There's a scientific way to do your affirmations. This is all part of my program. I have videos dedicated to each of these things, but I just thought I would give you some overview of some of the stuff I've been talking about. Not just about the alkaline diet, but there's other ways to alkalize as well and other good stuff. And if you want more info about any of it, just let me know in the comments, because I'm always looking for video ideas to keep you tuning in and keep sharing. Okay. Someone said, Sincere Spons said, "Hi Doug, you are a sugarholic, but we're loving your alkaline cooking channel. Respect and love." Thank you, and respect and love back to you. That there's no denying that I'm a sugarholic. Although it's no longer sugar, but still sweets. No more cane sugar, just date sugar and agave, of course. Yes, I do love myself some homemade root beer, and I make every once in a while. I just stocked back up on sarsaparilla, so I can finally make that again. But yeah, I do like sweets, and I don't even really shy away from it. I don't even care, because I feel amazing, and I feel good from the sweets that I eat and that I make, and I don't feel like bloated or disgusting after, or I don't have a sugar attack and then an anxiety crash, panic crash later. When I was eating sugar years ago, back when I was eating cane sugar, the devil. When I was eating cane sugar, it got to the point when I finally figured out what it was and like the science behind it, not just understanding, but overstanding, then that's when I realized that anytime I take in the sugar or the acids, I'm gonna, in like 15 minutes, like clockwork, in 15 minutes, I'm gonna be feeling really bad. And I know that I like to keep it fun and interesting and positive on the channel, but I'm not always positive, like positive thinking and stuff like that. No, I'm not like that. Sometimes I'm brutally realistic, and sometimes I'm very blunt. Sometimes I get angry. I'm a human being. So if I eat sugar, that's going to be a guaranteed anger, guaranteed. And if I see a toddler or someone else getting fed sugar, then I can look at my watch and I can go, all right, at such and such time, that kid is gonna be a devil and I'm gonna leave. And you know what? It happens like clockwork. I can predict people's health because it's biochemistry. So all the positive thinking in the world can't turn cane sugar alkaline. And I found that out in the first part of my life. So yes, I still keep eating sweets, but honestly, I like bitter food also. Have you ever had bitter melon? I wasn't looking in the... Oh. Have you ever had bitter melon? They eat it in Asia, different parts of Asia. There are different types of bitter melon. There's a prickly looking one that is called Goya in Japanese. It's from Okinawa. There's, I think usually it's from India if we get it exported to the US. It's usually just called bitter melon, but it's got really prickly edges. And there's another one that looks similar, but the edges aren't so prickly. They're more rounded. It has a similar taste as well. So I really do enjoy bitter food. I didn't used to like salty food, but I lived in Korea for 6 years, and geez, talk about salty. Sometimes it was just over the top, and I couldn't finish whatever because it was too salty. I mean, like too salty to eat. So, but I mean, after years of that, I think my threshold for salty flavor changed, and now I like a little bit more salt than I used to. And really, I'm focused on this channel on making the American food, is what I'm kind of calling it. And I'm going for sweet and salty and oily sometimes. That's straight up what I'm focused on, because that is, in my thinking, that's my way into the people's lives, is to hook them with something they're used to, like pizza or Snickers ice cream, or putting something delicious that I can, like I made that fruit cake, the alkaline fruit cake, and I gave it to someone who, there's some people who I want to have influence over, positive influence, that, maybe they're my family or friend, and they're not going to listen to me because, you might know me as the alkaline life coach, but they don't. They know me as, their friend or their nephew or whatever. So I think the way to influence those people that I can't, got to crack through the stubborn shell of, people that eat meat, people that are never going to change, people like that. I want to get in with some really delicious foods, and then my thinking is that they'll go, this is healthy? Are you kidding me? Because there's a stereotype that health food is gross. And people are thinking of hybrid food that's not even healthy, that I wouldn't even eat. Like Brussels sprouts or something like that. And yeah, I've had well-made Brussels sprouts like in Manhattan where people know what they're doing, but usually that's just nasty, or spinach or broccoli. Like those are hybrid. That's not the food I'm eating. So I think people have a misconception that all I eat is broccoli, or like all I eat is like some kind of rye cracker or something like that. Like the health food that they've been marketed, like rice cakes. The rice cakes, not Asian rice cakes that are gummy. I'm talking about like American or whatever rice cakes that are like a crispy wafer of styrofoam, and I grew up eating those because my mom was health conscious, or so she thought, and she might be watching, so hello. No offense and thank you. But when you really find out what's actually healthy, it's delicious food. I feel like delicious flavors. So actually, I like really spicy food. I'm really into, Mexican, Thai, and Indian food. I like it. I used to like it so hot that, tears come out. And a certain level of heat is healthy. Cayenne pepper, habanero is really good. So someone retracted their messages, and I'm curious what they said. I missed it. Could you speak on what alkalinity is and how our bodies are electric? Great. Yes, I will. I might be wrong. Frederick said, I might be wrong, but I read agave and others contain high fructose and only liver can break it down and puts the body in stress, and stevia is the only natural one the whole body can break down. I personally stay away from stevia, and I would never recommend it, but I have heard agave can spike your blood sugar. But honestly, since I quit sugar and switched strictly to agave and date sugar, I feel amazing. None of those sugar crash problems, and I'm pretty sensitive to that kind of stuff. Like if I eat something and then have a sugar spike, or my blood sugar goes up or down, I notice. And I've heard that too, because my uncle's a nutritionist and a doctor, and he told me a long time ago that agave is no good, and I never had it at that point because he had told me not to eat it. So that's one of those things that I think there's more in it. It's manipulated by scientific studies. And what are these scientific studies anyway? I was a part of scientific studies in the university. I worked in 4 different labs, 4 different laboratories. I did tests on animals. I did tests on humans. I have experience a little bit with that. So I kind of understand how it works, how all this stuff is supposedly healthy. Like people say, I rant about this in some of my other videos too, that people that argue with me about garlic and get mad at me and are total jerks to me. This happens sometimes. You guys are great. You guys are so positive and have great questions. I love you guys and girls. You know what I meant. I love you, people. I appreciate your good attitudes and good questions. But, once in a while on Facebook or somewhere, I'll get a really hateful person that seems like they have plenty of their own problems to be lashing out at me. But anyway, they come lashing out at me like blah, 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 blah about garlic has this photosylvav in it or whatever. And there's some long word. This is, people, first of all, you're not going to try to bully me and outsmart me because I've got 150 IQ and I'm not just going to be mentally bullied by anyone. I don't care. I'm confident about my intelligence. Sometimes I don't know something. I don't care. I often don't know something. That's why I research all the time. Why would I research so much if I knew everything? I wouldn't. So that's the first problem I have with these jerks, trolls that coming and attack me about like something. I'm using garlic as an example. It could be agave or anything. But But the scientific studies, the way that it works, and I'm just giving you like a bird's eye view of how I think it's corrupted, because something's got to be wrong, right? Can't we agree that something is majorly wrong with the scientific studies? Because you can look at two studies and have one say alcohol is healthy and the other one say alcohol is unhealthy. And for most people without a science background, that just boggles their mind, and then what do confused people do? Nothing. I learned that in business. Confused people don't do anything. So people need the clear information. And that's why you find all these corrupt things going on. Corn syrup. That doesn't even exist in nature. What do you mean? Corn doesn't exist. It's not real. It's an invention. It's an invention by humans. Corn, there is a wild corn. It's not called corn. There is a wild ancient predecessor to corn, and it's not starchy. I bet you didn't know that. That blew my mind when I found that out. So there's a lot there's a lot going on, and these scientific studies are just marketing. It's to sell. It's part of the sales process. How can I say that? Well, who did this study anyway? And I know I'm starting to freak out on you, but this is how I rant. So who's paying for this study? What are these professors just gonna get up and go to work and do the study for free? No. What, this university is just gonna, get all these equipment and resources, and we're just gonna do this for free? Wrong. Think again. These studies cost money. Where is that money coming from? And why is it going there? Why would someone spend millions of dollars on a study? Interesting. You think that they're giving up their $1 million? Think again. They're getting a return on their investment. It's common sense. You'd have to be totally naive or just not know about it. Well, that's what naive is. You'd have to be totally naive to follow some of these science articles and studies. How could something artificial created in a lab by a human be good for you when it can't even be absorbed by your body? It's marketing, folks. I'm a marketer. That's why I'm telling you behind the curtain of what other companies are doing. I know what they're up to. And it's sinister and it's unethical in my perspective, but that doesn't mean it's not true. So, okay, there's some good comments coming in. Hey man, love your channel. Oh, thank you, Frank. I appreciate it. Welcome. Thanks for all your work. Oh, you're welcome, and it's my pleasure, and I appreciate you for saying that, though, because it is a lot of work, and but I love it. But when you reach out and give me feedback like that, it means a lot, and I do appreciate that. I have Lyme and mold issues that changed my diet, and it's hard to find a healthy recipe. Oh, that's really interesting. I had some kind of issue, maybe that was similar to that, years ago, and yeah, mold is no joke. That's no good. I can understand. I recently found most citric acid is made from black mold. I know! I have that in my Facebook group. I posted about that, like 6 months ago. There's a picture of this. Yeah, they're growing. That's why if you don't know what it is, don't buy it. And if it has the word acid in it, don't buy it. And if it's not the name of a plant, then it's not a natural ingredient. They try to sneak these sneaky people. This goes right with what I was just talking about the scientific studies, about how they call citric acid or what's the other one? It starts with an A. Ascorbic acid. They call that vitamin C. Wrong. That's not vitamin C. What are they, out of their mind? It's really frustrating, and this is corruption. Definitely. What are they? It's business. You've got to understand, and I hate to be the one to call it out, but it's the truth. And these companies aren't interested in your health. All they care about is making money and getting away with it. They, just like cigarette companies, they just try to slime away and slither away without anyone blaming them for the cancer. And they tried for how many years did they say? How many years did the cigarette companies say there was no relation with lung cancer and smoking? How many years, how many decades did they say that? That's a reminder of what we're dealing with. That's a reminder of the type of people that own these food companies. You know, the things I hear about these big shots that own these giant, massive companies. Like these are, some of them, not everyone, but some of them are disgusting people that don't have a healthy cell in their whole body. Don't buy it. Don't buy their product. You can do whatever you want. I'm just, I think we should all boycott it. Personally, I've been boycotting stuff since I was 17. And that, to me, one of the things I learned in school, that the power that we have, one of the powers that we have as a people, and I think maybe even it's more powerful than our right to vote, which is, I'm not even going to go there right now, because YouTube will chop my thing off. And they're cracking down, and I saw a press release from YouTube that they're going to be censoring more stuff in the coming weeks. So that's even less of the truth that we're going to be able to get. I would need to talk to you in person without someone interfering with it. And then that would be freedom. Remember that? Remember freedom? Well, keep remembering, because, let's keep it. Let's keep as much as we can. All right, and on that note, let me check, and amino acid. Citric acid is made, jeez. Yeah, I started ranting about that. The citric acid, and it sounds natural, and natural vitamin C, parentheses, citric acid. Have you ever seen that? Sometimes they say it different ways, and then they say what it really is in parentheses. This really is a scam. And, if I were the Attorney General, I would shut these companies down. They're misleading people, and it's killing people. I take that seriously. What's going on with the regulators? Who bought them off? The corn companies, well, I was just throwing that out off the top of my head, but I probably nailed it. Probably nailed it right off the top of my head. Because, who's controlling the laws in the world? The corn and the wheat and the dairy and the pork people. So, they're making money off of other people getting sick. Unfortunately, that's not my wish. I don't want any part of it. I'm just kind of running damage control for them, because what's happened to the world in the last 100 years or 1,000 years even, but even more so in the last 50 years, in the last 20 years, they're just pumping out artificial things like crazy, and people consume it without even questioning it. And just when I was in Asia, in the 6 years that I was in Korea, from the beginning when I went there wasn't really corn syrup in anything. Because I read labels. I'm one of those only people that actually read the label. Yes, even in another country, because I'm interested what's in there. So that's one of the things I look at is the label. And if I ask someone, what is that? What is that? What is that? What is that? Even before I went alkaline, I was, getting there. I knew some of the stuff was toxic at least, just didn't know how bad it really was. But then in the 6 years I was there, by the time I left and came back, every single thing had corn syrup in it in Korea. In the 6 years I was there, they infiltrated everything. And I was living on an island at one point. There was one McDonald's on that island. By the time I left, I was there for 5 years. By the time I left, I'm curious how many McDonald's there were. I know there was probably 10, or 5 or 10 on an island. And then they were coming in like Burger King and all those others were, the first Taco Bell in Korea opened when I was there. And then I remember they had like one Burger King or something like that. And so it's just getting worse around the world, and people will readily trade their health for a snack, for a taste. They'll sacrifice their health for a good taste, and that's why I want to make really good tasting food, so that I can at least hopefully wake someone up and they realize they don't have to sacrifice just to taste something good. You can still live a healthy and long life and eat well. And those bad and corrupt and evil, unhealthy companies won't be getting your money anymore. And then your money will be going to, people that sell herbs, or people that, sell cherry tomato, or, the money will redistribute to people who ethically deserve it. If we can, right now we're such a small amount of people, it's such a small movement. The alkaline vegans, or whatever they're called. And there's not many, but I think it's going to get more and more popular. And I think we're going to be the only real group that's alive and healthy in the future. Since I was a kid compared to now, just what I've seen and what you've probably seen in your own lifetime as far as health goes. I used to say this back in college over 10 years ago. Yeah, I'm old. Oh, no, I'm not. But anyway, people say that and I accidentally repeated it. But I am, back in college anyway, I was predicting this. That I predicted that the life expectancy would start going down in the future, because it was going up and up and up, like people are living longer, people are living longer, people are living longer. I was predicting to my Japanese friends, because I was studying Japanese then, and I was telling them not to eat the American food. Be careful of the ice cream and French fries and whatever, because they would study abroad. They would come over and they would get fat in one semester. Well, not in my, I wasn't calling them fat, just they were, they would have their ID from like 6 months ago when they were in Japan, and they gained like 30 pounds or something when they came, and I would try to warn them that the US food is impacting the world, and in the future the life expectancy is going to go down. And you know what? It is going down. I heard that. So my prediction came true, and I think it's probably getting worse. So doesn't mean it has to happen to us. Me and you, we can control our own health for, well, not for everything, but for almost everything. We can control what we put in. So that's what this is all about. Alrighty, let's see what we've got here. I'm in Seattle. Frank said, alkaline water, ionizers, and vegan food are on the rise. Interesting. Very cool. Yeah, I bet it's going to be more and more in the future. And when I had to shift over out of necessity, because I wouldn't be alive if I wouldn't have went alkaline. But not everyone is such a drastic situation. But I'm thankful that I went alkaline, or I revamped my health and everything before all this stuff happened. Because now there's even more disinformation, there's more hysteria, and the real information about health, about your cells, about oxygen, about minerals, nowhere to be found in the mainstream. Nowhere to be found. And I feel like the mainstream is going in the opposite direction of good health. I think it's going worse. In the name of being safe from viruses or whatever they're trying to do, in the name of that, they're really going the opposite direction and being more unhealthy. But it's stupid, and I'm not making any of these policies. If I was part of the FDA or part of the government or something, then maybe I could change something on a larger scale. And typically I don't think the government should tell people what to eat or not. But when you think about it, these artificial foods didn't exist in nature. It's not like telling someone not to do something natural. It's an unnatural thing. So I think it's okay to make it illegal. Make sugar illegal. Make alcohol illegal. Why not? It's not helping anyone, that's for sure. Except that's wrong. It's helping the alcohol companies. It's helping the hospitals and the pharmaceuticals. So those small group of people are taking advantage of everyone as a collective. So rise up. This is where this live is heading. Rise up against it. All right, I think that I've talked long enough. I bet the brownies are done cooling, don't you think? I mean, some of you have stuck with me this whole time, so I want to let you see the final product. I appreciate everyone tuning in. I love to see your feedback and comments. All right. Oh, okay. I need and then I'm going to cut these, and then I'm going to call it a night, because it's been a 3-hour video almost, which is great. I love it, and I need the watch time. If you didn't know, sorry about that. If you didn't know, Facebook or YouTube makes you get certain requirements until they allow you to monetize your channel. And so the watch time is one of them. So I really appreciate the longer you guys watch. I really appreciate that because it's helping the channel grow. And I can't do it by myself. All right, let's see. Still a little warm, but oh yeah. Okay, see that? It lifts right up without bending in half or anything. Awesome. I wanted that to happen so that it wasn't too, so it's not too gooey. It's actually maintaining a shape. That's great. And look at that. Almost no cleanup. Perfect. All right, let me cut into this. I'm so excited I can't even so excited I can't even handle it. Alrighty. And I'm gonna, just to be extra special, I'm going to oil this blade so that it doesn't make a giant disgusting crack in the... I don't want to ruin it at this point when I'm trying to make a good video. Oh, okay. Well, it's not a very good shot, but... If it turns out that I cooked these too long, we're all gonna have a good laugh. Oh man, I think that they're perfect actually. No giant crack or anything. And then let me wipe this off. No problems. All right, exciting. I could probably eat this whole pan of these right now, but oh, my light just died. That's what happens when you go live for 3 hours. I need better equipment. Alrighty. Oh. I'm losing my mind at this point. I'm just about to eat just start grabbing handfuls of it. Feel like an 8-year-old. All right, here we go. I'm gonna get one of these corners. Make sure that that's cut. think that was a fail. If it's stuck to the parchment paper, that's a first. That's strange. All right, let me try to, I need a good picture of this or it's going to ruin the entire YouTube experience. But let me see if I can get this thing out of here. Why? All right, I'm doing the different corner. I think I mangled that one. This is all stuff that I can edit out and that I can't edit it because it's live. So, okay, we'll go with this one then. Come on. All right, let's try to get it out with a fork because I don't want to mangle it and have a big crumbly pile. Well, we'll see here. I didn't get the whole piece in one. That's a shame. Let's see if this piece will go. This parchment paper is causing me more of a problem than it is helping. Maybe I shouldn't have used it after all. All right, there we go, finally. Oh, no, it crumbled off. Well, I think that this is happening because I didn't let it cool enough, but the parchment paper... All right, let me try this out. I couldn't get a perfectly square piece because I was flailing around and trying to film, but it's good enough. We've been waiting 3 hours for this, so here it is. Here's the brownie. Can you see? Let's see if I can. Not too bad. Looks chocolate. It isn't. Some of it stayed almost perfectly in a cube, but I mangled a couple of the corners, and I'm really hard on myself about that because I wanted it to be perfect. But darn it. We'll pretend the top is the top is pretty perfect. All right, so I'm gonna try it. And I should have some milk. Mmm. Oh my, I'm oily. Mmm. Interesting. It's a good consistency. It's not too cakey. It's not too fudgy. It's not too sweet. It's not, it tastes sweet enough though. I was worried about the mushroom powder and if it would taste too much like cordyceps, and it doesn't. So that worked out well. I was going to put one more herb in this, actually. An herb to make it more decadent or rich. But I'll do that in the next one. So, well, I feel bad eating in front of you. And it's past my bedtime. I usually don't eat this late. I'm gonna be up all night jumping up and down. Not only does this have walnuts, oil, which gives you tons of energy, date syrup, and the mushroom powder. I'm gonna have so much energy that I'm gonna be a force to be reckoned with all night. I'm going to be bouncing off the walls, I think. Well, you're lucky you don't have to deal with me. I'll just be running around in a circle here until I get tired. Yeah, these have a lot of packed-in power. Those mushroom supplements are very powerful for energy, and cordyceps is famous for being for high energy. It used to be reserved only for the emperor. And if anyone else took the cordyceps other than the emperor, I think it was punishable by death. So they had to gather it if they found it, and they had to give it to the kingdom or the empire or whatever. And because it gives energy, and it was supposedly, like a fountain of youth. But there's cordyceps mushroom in this brownie. So these are packed with medicinal benefits. However, disclaimer, I'm not a medical doctor and the FDA does not approve. Always have to add that in there to make sure. Wow, okay, so I'm very happy with how these turned out. They're not maybe as fudgy as one person wanted, but I think they're fudgy enough, and it's not too fluffy like cake, which is important in brownies. It should be, fudgy and All right, there you have it, folks. Cooked, question and answer, and taste test. It only took 3 hours and 3 minutes. If it was only 3 hours, 3 minutes, and 3 seconds, it would have been perfect. Thank you so much for watching all the way until the end. If you have, I should check the iPad and make sure you didn't ask me any more questions first before I get it tune off. But thank you for watching. I've got brownie in my teeth. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Z-Boy. And thank you, Frank and Frederic, or is it Frederick? Depends on where the accent is. He was laughing about the cocoa amino acid. Unfortunately, those are fermented, but I've had some of that on a cheat day, and yeah, it caused some discomfort, actually. But thank you for all the feedback. Frank, keep tuning in, and if you need any one-on-one help, I do have a program. I'm not like hard selling that to anyone or anything, but some people do. I do want to get the coaching one-on-one, but that's, like I said, that's not a hard sell. That's just for anyone out there that really needs the support. See if I missed anything. All right. Thank you so much. I had such a good time chatting while I waited for the brownies that take forever to be done cooking, they ended up taking an hour. That is crazy. Geez, but I think it was worth it. Definitely worth it. I'm gonna try to not eat any more today. Who am I kidding? I'm gonna have one more right now. But then tomorrow, that's gonna be a great breakfast. I can already look forward to it. I'm gonna have some sarsaparilla tea and a brownie and just take flight. Because that stuff is energy packed, that's for sure. Alkaline. Oh, one of you asked me to talk about alkalinity, and I will end the video, but I want to say if you want to know more about alkalinity and what does it even mean, acid, alkaline, it's so vague, it's so confusing, and it's hard to wrap your mind around what that actually means because we think in pictures, and pH is invisible. So it's hard to understand. And I have a lot more information about that in my Facebook group. And it's a free group. You can, there's a link on my YouTube channel homepage at the top. And I have 2 different free groups that I share information in. And there's a lot. I used to go live in the groups before I figured out how to go live on YouTube. And I don't know why they make it so difficult though. But that's another story. So I did go live several times on Facebook a while ago, and I've got tons of information posted in those 2 groups. There's also a private group for just my clients that are in my program, but that's hidden, so you can't find that one. But the other 2 are free, so definitely join, and I'll see you in there, and I'll see you in the next video. There's definitely more coming. I've got more recipes in the works, and I've got big plans. So stay tuned, and I appreciate your feedback. I'll see you in the next one. Try these brownies out and let me know how it went. Until then.